Hi everyone in cloud computing. Welcome to the very first cloud computing training show with Brad Nelson and internationally recognized and #1 cloud industry expert and thought leader David Linthicum. This show is sponsored by Nelson Hilliard, cloud computing recruitment specialists, placing great people in cloud, IoT, fintech and AI. In this week's show, David and I will be talking about, are we heading for an all-on-demand cloud computing training? And if so, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are certifications too overrated? Hi Dave, how's it going?
It's going great, man. I'm looking forward to doing this one because we need to get a lot of people trained on cloud computing out there. We got too many positions chasing too few candidates.
Absolutely right. There is a huge deficit out there, and a lot of people are asking me lots of questions about where they should go, what they should do. So it's great to have you on board on the training show and to be able to pick your brains about, getting some advice out there to those people. It's all based on needs at the end of the day, and you come to the table with a huge amount of information. And quickly, before I forget, everyone that's watching this and wants to know about the next steps in cloud computing training for their future within their organization or going elsewhere for a position, do check out David's courses. They're awesome courses, and you can check them out at lynda.com. David, what's the other bit after lynda.com? It's a / and David Linthicum, maybe?
Just go to lynda.com, search on my name, they'll pop up, and take the courses. You'll love them. I got courses on core concepts, some of the beginner stuff, as well as advanced architecture training, and also public cloud, private cloud, serverless, DevOps in the cloud, 18 courses out there.
Perfect. Well, what I'll do, I'll put a link below in the box in this video, the comment box or something, subject box, and then people can just link and scan through those courses and get educated.
Get educated. That's what it's all about. That's what we're talking about today, Brad.
Perfect. Thanks, David. Well, how are we with regards to heading towards online cloud computing training? Do you think it's where things are going?
Yeah, it's got to go that way because we just don't have enough human beings that are able to teach the courses in person. And I really am kind of taken back by people that are looking for, on-site training, things like that, with the quality of training that's occurring out there with lynda.com and Cloud Academy, and certainly the cloud providers themselves, AWS and Google and Microsoft, that are putting out some really great courses and certifications. And so it's the only way we're going to be able to scale. So 10 years ago, we didn't have much of a opportunity to do on-demand training. It really was kind of something that was foreign to us. And now colleges and universities are doing it. It's very successful. People can stop and take the content at the rate that they want to take it. So I like to learn quickly and scan through things pretty quickly. Other people like to learn at a slower pace, and other people, like to learn faster than I learn. And so the on-demand stuff really seems to be where the future is going. And if you think about it, it's great for me because I can just do, one lecture once, versus the same damn lecture 100 times where I, get tired and sick of saying the same things over and over again. And you're able to ask questions, you're able to take quizzes, you're able to do interactive tests, you're able to test your knowledge, you're able to go back and look at the lecture again and look at the content and material again. And also with multimedia and the advanced video production techniques we have, people just make it very interesting to watch. And so you can sit down and get, if we're an hour in front of a good training video service, Lynda, Cloud Academy, whatever one you choose, really get a good understanding of what the topic is and how to kind of take it to the next level. And it really should engage you, and I think it's the way people want to learn. It's certainly the way I want to learn. I'm more visual. I like watching videos. I like watching your videos than sitting down and reading. I do both, but it seems like I'm more engaged when I'm watching and listening at the same time than just listening or just reading.
Absolutely. And thanks for that compliment, by the way. I'm glad you enjoy watching the videos that we do. And again, the feedback is the engagement through video is so powerful now. People feel that rapport, that relationship is much easier to build through a video, especially when you've got things like SlideShare where you can bring in slides into your video, or record your screens. There's so much you can do now. We're using a piece of software. You're in Washington DC right now, and I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and we are able to look each other in the eyes and discuss this kind of thing. It takes training and the insight, especially in the context of cloud computing, to a whole new level. Do you agree?
I agree, and I think it's the only way we can share information going forward. It's the only way that can scale. We can't write endless amount of blogs. We need to be able to have this interaction. We need not only to be able to put content out there, but be available to communicate very much like you and I are communicating right now in order to get to the essence of what the issues are. And I think it's a more interactive way of learning. And I think people are going to be able to learn more quicker, and it's going to be absorbed in their brains better. It's something they're going to carry forward for a long period of time. I know I do. The conversation we're having now, I'll remember this for the next 10 years, where if we were able to have an email exchange, I'd probably remember for the next 10 days.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's very true. It's very true. And the great thing about this is that between you and I, we can network this out to thousands of people on social media to get that spark of interest as to you should never really stop trying to educate yourself, especially in such a fast-moving and dynamically growing industry as IT, and more specifically, cloud computing.
ABL, man, always be learning. You got to be able to shift on a dime, and we're going to change every 5 years in terms of new paradigms and new ways of doing things coming forward. And your ability to keep up is going to be your value in the marketplace, as you know, as a recruiter. And your ability to keep up is going to be your size of your paycheck. And so if you're monetary oriented, but a lot of people are looking to keep up just because they get a kick out of the industry. They want to stay ahead of what things are going. And the great thing about there, you don't have to enroll in a university. You don't have to, pay a tremendous amount of money. You can just start learning via one of the on-demand services out there, get certified. You can do it within your home, at Starbucks, in your car. Well, probably not while driving, please. And really and it's just a different world now. It's to me, it's head and shoulders better than it was 20 years ago when I was trainer and teaching college, and doing a lot of webinars and seminars on cloud computing and service-oriented architecture and other computing topics.
Yeah, and so it goes back to one of the questions when I introed the show was, but how do you think certifications? You think they're too overrated at the moment, or what do you think?
Well, I think they're not something that I put a lot of weight into when I talk to somebody. So if someone's coming for an architect position, the AWS certifications are not as impressive to me because I'm looking for someone that's very rounded. So I'm not just focused on a particular cloud technology.
Yeah.
So the certifications, if I have tactical jobs to do, such as implementation of AWS and leveraging workloads on AWS specifically, or in Google or in Microsoft, then the certifications kind of mean something to me, but you're still doing very tactical things. Also, I found people who get certified are able to somehow slip by and may not have the chops I think they should have, as being certified with AWS or other things, and not picking on any of the native cloud providers, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they absorb the material and have a working knowledge of it. So in that way, I think they're overrated. But I have a duality there, because I will tell young people who are right out of college to go get the certification because it'll increase their salary by $30,000, $40,000 US, and that's significant. And that's kind of a way to kind of jumpstart their career and then parlay this into other things. And so you're able to build upon it. That's fine. And I think for young people in the industry right now, I think the certifications are the way to go. For people who have more rounded IT skills that can do architecture, things like that, I think the certifications are probably nice to have, a good way to round out your skill set, but they're not the only thing you should be looking at.
Great words there, and that's probably going to help a lot of people with obviously finding a point of contact for your courses and other people's courses. Obviously, not service provider, it's been specific. I've mentioned AWS, but there's a few other ones out there as well. But I'm sure that one of the things that I certainly encounter is people saying, well, what should I do next? What's happening in cloud? Where should I be? And I think the main focus is on what their strengths are right now for me, and what their core strengths are, because there are so many avenues of cloud to go and learn, but where are your soft skills at? Because that's really going to help in the long term, because you need to be able to demonstrate a high level of competency, not just within cloud, or within specifics within cloud, but the soft skills need to be one of the highest priorities almost, unless, like you said, they've got to be really specific on within DevOps or within migration, etc. What are your thoughts on soft skills, Dave?
Yeah, it's absolutely important that you're able to understand the soft skills within the environment, and also you got to have a holistic understanding of everything and anything, and also the ability to deal with people and business concepts. people who impress me are really have a rounded career and have lots of different experiences, and they're not afraid to try new things. They're not looking to pigeonhole themselves in a particular role. All I'm going to do is Unix, or all I'm going to do is AWS, or all I'm going to do is Google. And so good architects have holistic amounts of technology understanding as well as people skills. And I would say that, the degree I should have got in college instead of computer science was a psychology degree, because I deal with people in and out days that have phobias around cloud computing and different kinds of issues that I'm dealing with from a political point of view, and absolutely could not deal with that stuff when I was in my 20s and 30s. But you learn to deal with it in your 40s and 50s, and you get accustomed to dealing with organizations, to learn how to work through people as well as technology. What I always tell my clients is that technology is ungodly simple. I can do the technology easy. It just takes money to do it. But changing the minds of people, changing the hearts and minds of people is a very difficult thing to do. And I think effective technologists need to understand how to do that along with the technical skills.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Mindset is a real key point on that one. The technical skills can be learnt, but the mindset and changing the mindset based on what's happened before they've got to that mindset, is trying to recalibrate that can be a real tricky one sometimes.
Yeah, I think people are looking for people who are empathetic, who understand their plight, versus we as technology professionals, we like to go out there and just kind of spout, well, this is right because everybody says it's right. And the reality is I have to explain to a business person why I'm there, why I'm changing their world, and why I'm going to improve things. And in some instances, they have a point, because guess what? Technologists don't always improve things. They make mistakes. They go after technology that doesn't work. How come this is any different? And you have to have that empathy as you move into an organization and make changes, because in essence, we're agents of change. Every time we deploy and implement technology, we're changing jobs, we're changing career paths. We're talking about the training right now. We have to change the way people think about how they train. We're changing the way people deal with classes in university. And if that's the case, you have to also be able to explain why that's occurring and why that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. David, thank you so much for your time again this week. I really appreciate it. And as I said already, thanks for being a part of the Cloud Computing Training Show each week. That's just absolutely awesome. You're the man for the job. When do you want to start? Oh, you've already started.
Yeah, I've already started.
Fantastic. Well, look, thanks, David. Thanks again for your time. And thanks, everyone, for watching. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the weekly cloud computing news, including the cloud computing news and the cloud computing shows. You can also reach us on @DavidLinthicum and Nelson_Hilliard. And also don't forget to check out David's courses on lynda.com, and you can go there and search for David Linthicum. Thanks again, David, and thanks for everyone for watching.